Hello, and welcome back to the Oracle Scroll. Today, we're addressing the subject of peace. Hello, and welcome back to this episode of the Oracle Scroll. Today, we're talking about peace. Wow. We have very little peace in our world right now. With the global pandemic, the economic fallout that's come about because of it, and the general worldwide mismanagement of the entire process. So here we are, struggling. Many of us are stressed and totally without peace at home, in our families, in our workplace, if we still have a workplace, and beyond, in our world, in our community. People are acting out in ways that we would never have suspected they might, because they are at war within themselves. So peace, when we say the word peace, we understand that generally means a lack of hostilities, but is that all it means? What really is peace? How will we know when we have it? How will we know when we've achieved it? Peace. It's not a big word, but yet it carries an immense meaning. The late John Lewis, representative in the House of Representatives for many, many years, that said, not one of us can rest, be happy, be at home, be at peace with ourselves until we end hatred and division. Now, if we look at history, in our country and pretty much anywhere else in the world, peace has often come at the cost of someone's freedom, whoever that may be. Peace has often meant subjugating a people and eliminating a threat. And that does not create a lasting peace. So we have to understand each other better than we are at the present moment. And instead of wishing for regime change that's something we have to do. But instead of wishing for punishments and pestilence upon the people who we perceive as being our enemies, we need to wish them understanding, wish them to come to an agreement where they can actually see both sides rather than being solely focused on their own benefit. Albert Einstein talked about peace and said, peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. That's exactly where we need to put our attention right now. And yes, there are many, many things in our surroundings that will be just infuriating and absolutely difficult for us to swallow. But we have to focus on unity and bringing everyone together. And yes, we can disagree. We can disagree all day long. But we do not have to be violent. We do not have to be filled with hate in order to achieve that disagreement. Okay? Peace can still prevail. So when we look at it, we have to understand where it comes from and where does that peace originate. Okay? We can't just wish for it and expect someone else to just sort of magically drop some little fairy dust on us and all of a sudden the world is at peace. This is not going to happen. It's going to require input, and it means input from each of us. Each of us have to do our part to achieve peace. In fact, Eleanor Roosevelt talked about it when she said, it isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to just believe in it. One must work at it. So yes, the peace that we can bring to ourselves, and that's where it starts, is by taking good care of ourselves, achieving that peace within so that we can then share that peace with those in our families, those in our communities, those that are close to us in our social circles. And then it begins to grow from there. Peace is an interesting kind of ideal and idea. And I will admit, I'm one of those people who thought we had achieved a level of peace within our own country here, where we had moved beyond the petty divisions, the hatreds, and the things that just drove wedges between us as a society. I really honestly believed that we had put that behind us to a large extent. Yes, I knew that there were pockets, but I didn't realize they were such big pockets. And that has come as a surprise to me, and I'm sure to many of you, that the level of hatred and division and bigotry is immense, and we have to overcome that. And we have to start within ourselves. So kind of take a look at yourself. Do you get a gut reaction when you see someone of a different color, or you see someone who worships differently from you? Or if you see someone who maybe is in a different relationship than yours? How does that affect you? If it's anything other than a nod and realization, then you need to work on it because it is disturbing your inner peace. And it's not that other person's fault. It is something arising from within you that denies you that peace. So that's where we have to start. And peace springs from within, from our heart. Actually, our entire being gets involved in that wonderful feeling of peace. And in conclusion, the Dalai Lama was one of the wisest people on earth, as far as I know. He said, don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. And that is key, especially now on social media and so forth. It is so easy to get sucked in to the negative and the divisions. Now is the time for us to build our peace from the inside out. Thank you once again for joining us for this episode of the Oracle Scroll. My books, Tarot for Lunch, Lessons from the Cards, and more recently, 22 Teachers, Healing Lessons from the Major Arcana, are both available on Amazon.com. Please check them out. They are very informative and helpful in learning and understanding the tarot. Also, please stop by kevinwalder.com, my website. You can book appointments for any of the services available at that spot. So stop by and take a look today. And most importantly, please subscribe by hitting the little red button down below, and also click the bell to make sure you don't ever miss an episode.